Alright, so I'm going to be watching Black Clover for the first time. I did my reaction to all of the openings for Black Clover a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So I've seen the openings. There were definitely some spoilers in the openings, but I think I've forgotten most of them, except for I think two about Asta's techniques, because those were like very visually memorable. They were very cool. So I do know some like ultimate techniques that Asta gets a little bit later on. Obviously, I already know Asta's name just from being in the anime community and reading things people say. But other than that, I don't really know anything about the series. And yeah, so I'm going in blind, never read the manga, haven't seen the anime outside of those openings. So I'm just going to watch the series and, share my thoughts as we're going along. Tell you whatever I think. Honestly, my anticipations and predictions for this are that I'm not gonna get that into it for a while. I think a number of people in the comments were saying that the animation is very inconsistent, unlike like My Hero Academia or Jujutsu Kaisen or a lot of the more recent Jump adaptations. This thing is just kind of a weekly anime, more in the style of like Naruto or Bleach back in the day. So they're not able to like polish every episode to the same extent that some of these other more recent shonen adaptations have. And for me, that's actually kind of a large drawback. I'm the type of person that values when things have like a minimal number of flaws, even more so than when they have like a large number of things that I like. Minimizing your flaws, for me, this is just a completely subjective thing. That's the type of thing I tend to like a little bit better. It keeps my attention a little bit more. And it sounds like this is not like structured or produced in a way that's extremely conducive to that. But there are definitely going to be some hype things. There's a reason people love this show. So the real question for me is, are the good moments, are the good things about this going to be so good that it can help me get through the inevitable slog that I'm going to experience? And I don't know, we'll have to see about that. I have heard that like the first 10-15 episodes, it takes a while for things to kind of pick up, for you to get into the real story. So I'm going to keep that in mind. And I've heard all the jokes when the show first started were that the main character just screams all the time and it's unbearable. So I'm a little bit prepared for that. But, those are the things I have in my mind as we're getting into this. And other than that, I'm just trying to, keep an open mind and see how things go. I really like getting into a new show, new long-running shonen. It takes like mental energy to convince myself to do it. But once we're in it, we're in it. So let's see. Oh, they're brothers. I didn't know that. He does. They're like Anaki, I guess. Even if not like brothers. How strong is that baby? You let that baby give you a bloody nose? Are you kidding me? Asta. He's the man who will become the Wizard King. Ooh, you trying to marry a sister? Yeah, do you know what a sister is, Asta? Oh. Oh my god. People were not kidding. It's like, what? We're 4 minutes into this. He's had like 20-30 lines at this point. He has yelled every single one of them. Jesus.
今日で僕も一人前の魔導士か。おい、あれ、みすぼらしいよな。あんなのにまで平等にグリモワールやらなくてもいいのに。
Just once, I want these characters they introduce that are supposed to clearly be fodder, and like sometimes these characters will come back as like reoccurring characters later, and they'll like change their tone and like be like good guys or whatever. But just once, I want them to like be like OP and just like genuinely better than the main character. I don't know. It would be fun to me. Damn, that's rough, buddy. Some real Encanto energy over here.
おい、そこまでしなくても。今日は俺たちが主役になるはずだったんだ。それなのに、貧民ごときが稲妻のクローバーだと。そんなもの。おい。
No, but like, wouldn't it be so funny if they actually just beat Yuno's ass because they're actually way better than him? I think that would be fun.
そうだ。もらっておくよ。待て何してんだお前ら。アスタが選ばれないなんてありえねえ。悪魔が住む。
Okay. That was a better first episode than I thought. You know, my expectations were pretty low, but like I know it's going to decrease in quality as we move forward, at least for a little while. But usually the first three episodes have pretty good production, but then after that, there's like a little bit of a dip. But here, that was very good. The animation was very good. The direction was very good. The pacing, I mean, it's one episode, right? But I probably would have liked something a little bit faster. But you know, it's fine. Standard generic shonen opening. Uh, very reminiscent of like your One Piece or Naruto. He wants to be the Wizard King instead of the Hokage. He has a demon locked inside of him, apparently, much like Naruto, and he can't control like magic. Much like Naruto is like pretty bad at doing jutsu and whatnot. A lot of similarities there, you know, but it's good stuff. Yeah, I was genuinely curious during that fight how things were going to be resolved, you know, because he like literally had no magic potential. Then was it going to be a thing where in a world of magic he's just like so strong and good at fighting that he succeeds? Like Mashal, I think that's a thing, running and jump with a premise like that, because that would have been pretty cool. But what we got instead was pretty good as well, and I'm curious to see what happens next. So let's see how long they can maintain this quality of thing. So yeah.
すっげー。魔法帝って偉いの？国王様の次に偉いのよ。
So the Wizard King is different than the King.
決めた。アスタ、決めたって何よ？俺、魔法帝になれ。シスター？
I wonder what being the Wizard King actually does. Is it just a title given to the most powerful wizard? Because at that point, it doesn't really make them any more important than anyone else, right? Like, it would have to come with some type of official, like, government sanction to be able to do things or enact edicts, or maybe they get, like, special powers or access to, like, I don't know, holy items or something. I don't know. If it's just a title, then that's a little weak.
ごめんなさい。びっくりした。ユナ、遅いわね。腹減った。神父様もまだ帰ってこないし。先食べちゃおうよ。ダメだよ。ユノ兄がかわいそうだよ。ちぇ。ペンダント。僕の。
ちょっと金に変えてくるだけだっつうの。
Okay, but why are you still standing there just attacking this kid? Leave! Leave! You got the pendant! What kind, like, in real life, if a mugger comes up to you and he, like, takes your phone and your wallet, he doesn't just stand there and, like, beat the shit out of you for no reason. He's gonna run away. What are you doing?
返して。
Dude, leave! Leave!
ガキが分不相応なもん持ちやがって。
What? An asshole. This dude is such a weirdo. Like, I don't understand. He could have run away at any time. Even when Asta was attacking him, he could have just turned around and run away. Like, I don't understand this guy at all. He's just like... Because, like, on one hand, if he was just a sociopath and he just wanted to torture children, then, like, fair enough, I guess. It makes sense for him to stay there. But apparently that's not what he wants to do, since he's, like, I don't know, intimidated by Asta or a little bit creeped out that Asta is, like, I don't know, unaffected by him just beating the shit out of him. So he doesn't appear to be, like, a real sociopath for real, but also he's just a very bad thief. So I don't really get it, but whatever. I bet that guy comes back later. Now here we are. Yo. This looks sick! Is he gonna... That looked really cool. Is there any way that guy isn't dead? I mean, he must not be, but... That looks so pretty. And he turns around, and the dandelions, the glowing dandelions in the background and foreground. What a great looking shot there. I just like when lights are in screen, really. Okay. So we actually have some visuals for the ending this time. In the last episode, I think the song was different, and also it was just a blank screen. So we're actually seeing the ending for the first time here. Yeah, so that was a pretty good second episode. The production quality still staying high. Again, usually it will fall after episode 3 or so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, the flashback was a little bit too long, and I wish either they'd put this earlier or a little bit later. I just didn't like where it was placed either. And it's not like super compelling material, but you know, it wasn't bad. It was good for what it was. I'd still say I'm enjoying the show so far. And yeah, I think at this point I would still watch more episodes, even if it was just purely on my own, because like I'm curious to see where things go. I think this is where we start to get into, I don't know, their application to become part of the Magic Knights, I would imagine, is where the story moves next, but we'll see. So, yeah. That was a much easier fight than I would have imagined for the hero. Like, in the grand scheme of things, he did not exert himself that much. It's not a single drop of sweat on his forehead.
現在魔法帝は代々受け継がれいつの時代も直属の魔法騎士団と共にこの国を守っている。
Alright, so that answers my question.
魔法帝
でおるんじゃからの。期待していた子たちは
僕たちには無理です。
魔法騎士団なんて
追加されたやつですらあんなに強いなんてとても。
Aren't those two are like 15 though, right? They could just like wait a little while. I don't know. I was kind of hoping they'd be like more reoccurring characters. I wanted them to go to the Magic Knight exam and like actually pass, maybe just barely. I don't know. I've been rooting for those two since they first showed up. Because characters like that always have the short stick. I mean, they're assholes, right? So it's not like they don't deserve it, but you know what I mean.
俺の勝ちだ。
Damn. Just potatoes. Is that a potato pie? What are we looking at? It's mostly for Yuno.
でもさ、もし万が一、いや奥に一、お前が魔法騎士団に入れたら、トロ？俺も可能性を信じられる。何にだってなれるって。
That's kind of sweet.
いつか俺も魔法騎士団に。
Hey.
ここで働いてくれるシスターリリーだ。みんなよろしくな。
Okay, this is actually good to know because I was like, isn't she kind of like your mom? Didn't she like raise you? But it seemed like he didn't meet her until he was like old enough to have crushes. So he just fell in love immediately. That's a lot less creepy. That's good to have clarified.
アスタというのは魔法騎士団の入団試験を受けるためにオートへ向けて旅立った。オートはハージの村からはるか遠い。
I don't like to hear that. To be honest, I want them to just be there immediately. Ore no Riri. This happened in the last episode too, but when he hits things with his sword, he doesn't seem to like cut it. I don't know if that's intentional or if they just like don't want to be that gruesome or violent. Especially in the last episode when he hit that guy, I guess they don't want him like cutting someone in half, you know. But they could have done it here for the pig, I guess. Like obviously they had to cut it anyway, but whatever. Okay. I was concerned that we were going to spend like 5 or 6 episodes on the journey, you know, but that's fine. Spend 5 minutes on it.
入団試験が待っている。二人は大勢の並みいる強敵たちと競い合い、入団を勝ち取らねばならないのだ。
Okay, so, you know, looks like we're going to be moving into like a tuning exam type thing. Like there's probably going to be like a tournament arc component towards the end. Probably going to end up start with a bunch of competitors that need to be weeded out through a series of tests that have like kind of clever solutions. Asta's going to make a fool of himself initially. Everyone's going to be looking down on him, and you know how these things go. Maybe they'll do something different. Maybe it won't. Doesn't really matter. I like these types of things. I like tournament arcs. I like exam arcs. Could be fun. So looks like this is where the story, in my view, kind of like starts. Everything before this, which was was build up for getting into like, I don't know. I guess this exam arc is still going to be like an introduction until they're officially actually like join the Magic Knights. I presume that's what happens. But this is the stuff that I'm looking forward to and should be fun. So, you know, I will say that episode 3, definitely a step down in animation quality. Not a huge step, but the animation isn't as good as it had been in the first 2 episodes. It really stands out in the opening scene where the first Mage King, is fighting that giant demon. That looks kind of underwhelming, especially since this should be like the biggest fight in the entire series. Really, I'm assuming like the Mage King and the Wizard King and the that giant demon are probably like some of the most powerful entities in this entire series. So you would think that would look a little bit more spectacular. So yeah, we're in the decline phase, but you know it's fine. We'll see how things go. Uh, Definitely my least favorite episode out of the three we've seen so far. But it looks like things may be picking up, so we'll see how that goes.